Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host. Very, very grateful host. And in studio with me, my man Lane over there. What's up, Lane?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday.
Hey, Tuesday needs some love, too.
It does. It kind of gets forgotten about because it's in the middle.
Yeah. It's like Wednesday's hump day, Thursday's day before Friday, Monday you just got off a weekend, Tuesday. It's like some would even say, what's the point?
Exactly. It gets forgotten about.
We keep Tuesday, but we kick Pluto to the curb. Unbelievable. And I blame your teachers.
That's a conversation for another day. We had that argument.
Pluto is a planet. If for no other reason, symbolically, for all of us that had to grow up learning that there was 9 planets in our doggone solar system. I can't. Miss Susan Murphy, my sweet first grade teacher she would not agree with this. I know it.
It's whatever. It's not. It's already been decided. We're not going to go back and change it.
Oh, you never know. Never say never. Hey guys, look, go join us on rumble.com. Get that chat rocking and rolling, guys, and we're happy to be with you here today. Y'all go check out my friends over there at Stan's Auto, man. My wife just put an order in for some tires. They got a wide selection. You know what I like about them? Well, this is my own experience, and I'm sure it's the same with you. They have so many networks across the country. So, like, even getting tires, which seems like, okay, it is kind of a big deal. You need them, but you don't get them all the time. So, what Stan's does, if they have it in stock, that's great. But they're able to find the best deal, at least, to the extent that they can, and get you the bottom line that fits your budget. So, and quality products, and they shoot you straight. Go check them out. Stan's Auto here in Lafayette and New Iberia. Great locations. Okay, so let's stay local. Let's stay local here to Lafayette, Louisiana, Lafayette Parish, City of Lafayette. Remember, Lafayette has 6 municipalities. I know a lot of folks, probably most people know that listening to the show, but out there, outside of Acadiana, we have what's called a consolidated government. I think there's 4 in the state, give or take. None of them are the same. Consolidation makes sense in certain areas. Consolidation doesn't make sense in other areas. So that's great, okay? But we got 6 municipalities. You got Youngsville, Broussard, Carencro, Scott, and Dusson. And Dusson is actually in 2 parishes, Lafayette and Acadia, believe it or not. All those gambling sites, that's in the Acadia parish side, not the Lafayette parish side. And Mayor Johnny over there might remind you of that revenue that comes in. I'm just saying. But that's definitely a topic for a different day. So we have these 6 wonderful municipalities, the 5 municipalities plus the city of Lafayette. Wonderful, great, diverse parish where all the municipalities is so unique, man. They keep their identity, but yet if we work together, and we've seen examples, very brief examples in our life of consolidation here in Lafayette Parish, but when it's working at its best, you see all 6 municipalities and the unincorporated areas just really, really flourishing. None of this little petty stuff that we're seeing now. And it's not coming from the municipalities. It's coming from the center. But regardless, big events coming up here in Lafayette Consolidated Government, and that is the budget. And in our local government, the way that it works is the mayor-president introduces a budget to the 2 councils, city council, parish council. Both have the statutory minimum of 5. I never understood that. But regardless, there it is. I was told we went with 10 because they can only fit 1 more seat at the podium. And if that's the real reason, that's a joke. That's a joke. What an excuse. You think student-teacher ratio, a parish council member, there's 250,000 people in the parish. The city should have 7, the parish should have at least 7, in my opinion.
It would make sense.
And now, but with the forced, we can get into the demographics and politics of it. Just know it's an interesting combo. But local government, we should. Anyway, so you got the budget coming out. That's a huge budget. Last year, it was $803 million. That's $100 million more than the last administration when we got out. It was at $707 million. And really, it was kind of like at 660 million. We still had about 40 million in ARPA, even though my opponents at the time said we spent it all. I was trying to on really good projects, but politics of the day. But regardless, that's $100 million. Can you imagine Lane, $100 million. Now, some folks will say, especially administration, well, government's complicated. No, it ain't. It's one of the easiest gigs I ever had in my life. But I never looked at it as a retirement plan. And I know I said I would never run for office again. I don't know. I should have never said that. But maybe so. But if I ever did, just know that ain't my retirement gig. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go in there and help people and get the flip out. Just like, that's why it should be like that. It should be like that across the board. Fix the problems, get out, or move on. You can move on. But, man. But regardless, $100 million. Now, the pundits will say, the local elites within the administration will say, well, half of that is LUS. Well, great. You want to bury power lines, I hear. I hear Johnson Street beautification plan is a thing. I love it. I hope we do it. And I'm telling you how to do it through your LUS budget and your public works budget. That's it.
Now I do have a question. You might even know the answer to this.
Possible.
If you have LUS, don't you pay utility fees? And wouldn't that pay for LUS? Why is there so much in the budget that goes towards LUS?
Well, that is a very great question. So all that money that goes into the budget is revenue from the ratepayers. All right. Mm-hmm. So right now we have 50, according to the bureaucrat. Bureaucrats will shoot you straight. Bureaucrats will take on the tone of whoever's in charge. So if you don't like how the bureaucrats are doing, it's because of the tone at the top. That's my experience. If you go in there and you create a customer service type attitude, treat people like you want to be treated, don't drag your feet, be efficient with your finances, things like that, then yeah, the bureaucrats will do it. They're not gonna not do it. It's all at the top. If you create an administration, no matter what, Lafayette or wherever, that solutions are a priority. Like, we want to fix the problem right there. If you create that urgency, because I'll tell you what, the ratepayer at LUS, the citizen calling in about drainage or a road or public works or anything like that, it's urgent for them. So I always believe, and I'm telling you, this is the truth, at the top, if there's no urgency to actually solve problems, how can you expect the low-end bureaucrat to, like the bottom of the org chart, not bottom as a human, but bottom at the org chart? You can't. Leaders lead by example, whether you like it or not. And I know that the hard way and the good way, okay? I mean, look, when I went into office, I had some learning to do, and I did, thankfully. But one thing, I'll give Councilman A.B. Rubin this, we had a good talk about, being the heartbeat and maybe getting calm and control over situations. That's my boy AB. But no, you could see, I mean, even in my little short term, I mean, there obviously you got to learn some things. The second half of my term looked a lot different than the first half. And that's what you want to see. You want to see growth. You want to see, evolving in the right way. But one thing has to be consistent no matter what your philosophies are. If you want to get things done at the local level, you got to have your fiscal house in order. You can't grow government, man. You add all them jobs, that costs something. And it don't just cost something for the taxpayers today. It costs us generations down the line because we have to pay mandated retirement, mandated fiscal responsibilities on local governments across this state. So I'm going to be very curious to see the LCG budget. When we get back, we'll talk about that and so much more. Stick around. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Go check us out at rumble.com. Shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience and our KPL audience, of course. Hey, guys, looking for luxury? safety, and a dealership that puts customers first? Man, visit Giles Volvo Cars here in Lafayette. Giles Volvo, whether you're shopping for a new Volvo, a quality pre-owned vehicle, or expert service from factory-trained technicians, the Giles team is ready to help. Giles Volvo, man, stop by their showroom on South City Parkway or see their inventory online. Experience the Volvo difference. But experience the Volvo difference at Giles Volvo, where exceptional vehicles meet exceptional service. GilesVolvoCars.com, man. Go check out my friends. If you see my dear buddy Bob, you tell him Josh and Lane said hello. I got to get Bob in here to visit with you, man. He was supposed to come on this week. He's traveling. He's swimming with sharks. That guy swims with sharks.
That's awesome.
It's
crazy.
No, Lane, it's not awesome. It's crazy. And I told my dear friend, he's my friend, I don't want him to get eaten by sharks, and he laughed at me. He said they're friendly. They're gentle giants. And then he has this video where was a GoPro. He's going down there, then it falls off. Or actually, he's in the boat, and it falls off. And it goes all the way down, and you can see, and it's just sitting there. He ends up going to get it with the sharks. But you can see the sharks swimming and everything. It's pretty neat. Bob Giles, man, that's my boy. And you were saying something?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's awesome at the same time. You have to admit it's a little awesome. And I will say, Bob Giles is one of those people I've never heard anything bad about.
Dude,
people talk about him all the time. There's like very few people you never hear anything about. I remember my 5th grade teacher told me that her parents were really good friends with Bob Giles. And that he was an awesome man because he had bought a bunch of kids' book sacks at my school.
Yeah.
Awesome guy.
That's my dude, man.
There's such a small group of people that you never hear anything about, and Bob Giles is probably at the top of that list.
Hey, man, and yeah, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Go check out all the Giles Automotive dealerships here in Louisiana. And I love having him on. He was telling us about doing business in California. And man, that was unique. I have to get him back on to tell us that, and especially because it was new at the time, and now that he's had even more experience with it, I really would like to hear his thoughts, because this is a unique situation. We have a leader in our community that is doing the same product and industry in 2 different states. It's very rare that we can have somebody with his experience and then talk about the bureaucracy and the regulations and how this stuff really does impact jobs. And then I'm going to ask him, why did you buy something in California again? No. Hey, he's doing something right. But now let's go back to local. Let's go back to Lafayette Parish. So the budget, man, that's a big deal. It affects so much. We were just talking about the extra. Now, look, I don't know how much the money's going to be this time going around. I thought, based on what the auditor had mentioned, that it would be around the same. And if that's the case, man, we are stagnant. And I don't understand how the heck we're stagnant when she raised taxes. You know, when the mayor-president raised the millage tax. I mean, it's like, how do you not have? You should have even more money.
Now, millages is something people talk about a lot, but I don't think a lot of people understand it. Could you explain millages?
Yeah, no, millage property tax. Think of it like that. Property tax, most of the time it's a city or parish millage that goes, and it's dedicated. Okay, so it's dedicated for a certain point. I like millage in the sense that it's dedicated funds. I love dedicated funds. You got to have a general fund because you can't just be so rigid, you know, and I'll tell you, a lot of times we were able to get some projects done that help people in emergencies, okay? That I was happy that me and the council had some flexibility that we can go help people. But regardless, millage is there too. Like there's a drainage millage, there's a roads millage, there's a roads and bridges millage, there's a whole bunch of stuff. In the city, there's a police millage. There's other things on and on and on. And there's a public health millage that has been rededicated a lot of times, and then they do some good work. They do some good work. But my recommendation, Lane, I think we should have tax reform in Lafayette Parish. The folks in the parish do not mind, and this Democrat, Republican, it don't matter. What I'm talking about is bipartisan, in my opinion. It's a budget. Well, budget show your initiatives, so I guess you need to pay attention to it. But we should have some tax reform, man, and it's easy. Just go through every single millage. Put them all out there. Put them all out there. You're going to need to right-size some of these millages, meaning some of these millages collect so much money that it's more than we spend. And I'm telling you, that is dangerous when you have an administration like the Blanco Boulay administration. I say that objectively because that's the mentality of use it or lose it. And that's a horrible way to spend taxpayer dollars. That money belongs to you and me. If the government's not going to spend it for the dedicated purpose, then give it back. And give it back in the form of a tax decrease, not increase. I am telling you, I was in charge of introducing a budget 4 years in a row, and it was healthy. Go look at it. It's public and compare it. Please do. But I'm telling you we have enough money to do the core functions of government. I'm telling you we do. I know we do for a fact, and now we have even more money. So let's rededicate. Let's give because when you put every willy-nilly idea and every initiative out there is tied to a millage, you're really handicapping the democratic process, because our council members could be voting on these things at a more rapid pace that identifies with the needs of the community and not just blanket, let it sit there in a millage that's just collecting dust, or the bureaucrats will use it. Listen, and I'm not just saying this because it's me, but you're not always going to have someone that looks at that, okay? You're not always going to have a mayor president that looks at fund balances and saying, no. We are not spending that just to spend it. You upset some folks when you do that now. But look what we're able to do. So I'm just saying. Now, how do you do that? Because I'm telling you, the current administration, there's one person in there that I think's good. But anywho, but at the top, man, that's a different mindset. That is a grow government mindset. That is a grow power mindset. Tax increase, that's like a natural. That's like a natural. How are we doing on time over there, Lane?
Oh, we have 2 minutes left.
Good. That's what I'm saying, guys. All right, so back on this. So the LCG budget, very, very impressive numbers if you think about it from just the sheer volume of it. But it's not always as impressive as we use it. So we're going to look very closely into this and see what's going on. You know, see where we're at. Do we really, okay, we worked really hard, guys. We eliminated 200 positions that were needless during my time. One of the first things she did was open them back up, our current mayor president. And I just don't understand, we should be doing some things. So, you drive around town, you see some things.
Yeah. So when you drive through town, you see a lot of these problems that are just really apparent. You see panhandlers everywhere.
Oh, God.
When we see these panhandlers, it's always homeless. There wasn't talk about homelessness. There's a compassionate part of us that is that okay? These people just are on the streets. And I'm not saying we need to have huge handouts, but I'm saying, why are these people there? Why don't they have a home? Why don't they have any of these resources that you think they would have? Rehab, a lot of them have drug issues. You see these people outside the streets, you can easily tell they're overdosing. Why don't we have the police to stop them? Why don't we have someone dealing with homelessness? We put millions and millions of dollars towards an animal shelter to house the animals on the streets, but we don't have any money to help our humans that are on the streets.
Oh,
it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, let's talk about that. Look, we're going to take us a tiny little break. That's an excellent point. Let's talk about, because Lafayette is becoming, start the hashtag, we are now the panhandling capital of the world. Get the hashtag, make the shirt, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting from KPEL. Go check us out at rumble.com, man. Rumble.com, like Rumble in the Jungle. And just look up the Josh Guillory Show. We're very easy to find. You know who else is easy to find? Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic, man. If you're tired of just treating symptoms and you're ready to find out what's really going on, call Dr. Kevin. at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic here in Lafayette. Through wellness and functional medicine, Dr. Kevin focuses on identifying the root cause so you can feel your best. I know it firsthand. If you're ready to take control of your health, call 983-CARE. That's 983-CARE. Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. Start feeling better from the inside out. And back to this. So we'll talk about, we were talking about Lafayette Consolidated Government's budget. And, we're going to cover that. It'll be introduced. The mayor president introduces it to the councils here soon. You'll start have budget hearings and briefings. Most of the time, folks are busy, don't make it. There were some times where we had a lot of protests. I think we had a record. My first budget, we had so many protests. I told you, when you start doing the right thing, you start cutting things, you're going to have some people that are upset. By that third budget, though, I think people started like, all right. Okay. First of all, this dude ain't gonna fluff. He ain't gonna take the whole fund every NGO, fund every potting on the street. Second, his guys and gals are watching. All right. And third, there really is a different way to achieve the same goal. Not everybody wants to work to that because a lot of folks in some of these communities that are claiming to help certain members of that community, they're more about the me and not about the we. So, you had something, young man?
One thing, you're driving through Lafayette and you see all these panhandlers.
Again?
And you have to really, really, really question, where's the money going? We put all this money in NGOs is the thing that we.
So Lane, you're big on these panhandlers, right? I thought I was big on the panhandlers.
I just, something about it just makes me feel so bad. And I don't know what to do. And I don't think just throwing money at the problem solves the problem. We see plenty of problems where we just money. And it doesn't seem to be going right. Let's get these people in jobs. We have jobs coming in Lafayette. Why don't they have jobs?
Because they don't want it.
And
I'll tell you, it's very, the ones that want help will go to places that give help, like the church and nonprofits. And I'm telling you, we have such a giving community. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But our compassion can get taken advantage of. Our kindness can be taken advantage of. Now, I am telling you this as a person that just happened to be in office at a certain period of time that happened to capture this data because it was important to me. I'm sure the current person, if they wanted to, they could find data out and be up to date as well. Okay, but in a 3-year period, if you got the federal dollars, all the public dollars, and then some private sector donations, just in the Lafayette area, you're looking at I think it was $25 million in a 3-year period to fight homelessness. The money's there. Now you have a big old push. Let's build a shelter. Okay. One, you can call me a harsh jackleg all you want. If you build it, they will come. Now, that sounds so horrible. Oh, Guillory's blah, blah, blah. If I am telling you facts, I am telling you the truth. So you better be prepared for what's about to come, okay?
I agree. I'm very hesitant to just throwing money towards a shelter. It's just, how do we get these people on the streets? We have all this money. Lafayette, you talk to people in Lafayette, they're so generous. They're like the best people you meet in the entire world. Traveling has shown me how ugly some people are, and it really blows my mind. You hold doors for people and they don't say thank you. Lafayette, if someone didn't tell you thank you,
their mama would be there.
Oh, their mama would be there. They would be mad.
That's right.
One time,
your mom would feel it.
One time I walked past someone held the door for me, and I didn't say thank you. You should have heard their gasp.
You see?
You cannot do that in Lafayette. You do that in D.C., and it's it's just something normal.
It's another Tuesday.
Yeah, another Tuesday. It's crazy. People in Lafayette are the best people in the world.
With so much generosity.
Yes,
just
wonderful.
Amazing. Man, people. Look, but back to this shelter thing. No idea you shouldn't be so rigid. I'm not saying that I would never support something like that, but I want to identify some truths. So the first thing you got to understand is, I always say, play the tape. We have to understand, if we build that, they will come. Okay, cool. All right. So now they come. What's the next part? And it becomes the question, ultimately what I'm getting at, Lane, and everybody, is whose responsibility is it? I don't know that answer. I know who will mess it up, and that is the government. The government will just give money and nothing. And if you're going to do it, it really does have to be at the local level. It can't be at the state level. It can't be at the federal level. It has to be at a local level. I know the needs of Lafayette better than I know the needs of Washington. And I know the needs better than the governor, and the governor knows the needs of Louisiana better than the president. It's just natural.
Yep.
It's just a natural thing. And I just it takes us all. Is it the church's responsibility? I don't know. The church was doing it a lot more than government was for a long time, and it seemed to be working better.
Yes. Because you see a lot of these people, they're on drugs or they just don't want to work. Why is there these are public spaces. They're not private spaces. Why are these people spending their own time just sitting on these public spaces? Why is that allowed? That's what I don't understand.
Well, because the mayor president allows it to happen.
That's what I just...
No, it's ridiculous. The law allows you to remove them. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Because I say it all the time. Can I go open a lemonade stand on the boulevard in Bertrand and where's it at? They're all over. What am I talking about? The Evangeline Thruway. You can go and see about 8 of them right now on the Evangeline Thruway, just in the Lafayette corridor. Guys, that is the only place on that corridor because you rarely see it anywhere else because the mayor allows it to happen. Can I go seriously? Everybody, let's go start lemonade stands in the medians at the interchanges at the intersections of all the Thruway, or at Collie Saloon and Pinhook, or where else? Louisiana Avenue. You mentioned that yesterday. Louisiana Avenue. There's panhandlers all over the place.
Yep.
Every Ambassador I-10, University I-10, all the Louisiana I-10.
Yeah,
you're going to see it.
There's so much money going towards it, and the problem's not being fixed. There has to be money going somewhere, and I would really like someone to go in and investigate this because there's money that's moving around. There's homeless people, not all of them. Some of them that have new clothes every day. It doesn't make sense.
Look, guys, anybody in need should be helped, and anybody in need, we pay tax dollars. I would love to be able to identify it. But there's a different, I'm just telling you, and I remember the police department here in Lafayette running an operation on this. And they found, and it was on the news. You could bring all that back as, 2022, maybe, 2021, 2022, 2022. And it was shown. There was 26 of them arrested on different things. Drugs, all this. So we had one officer that had fentanyl go on his body. He had to go to the hospital. And this is from a panhandler.
Yep.
All right. It's just, I don't know. The local government should, if you're not going to go move these people off of our bus station, if you're not going to move these people from our corners harassing the heck out of us, okay, then at least just go give them drugs and needles so they get out the way. Can you just supply that? So, here's the drug place. Go do it over here. You'll get a way more demand. Say we got booze from 4 to 5. Just make it. I'm trying to make it more efficient. If we're not going to enforce the law, if we're going to allow these predators to just freaking continuously harass our drivers in Lafayette, and it's the city of Lafayette, it ain't the parish, then just do that. Yeah. I don't understand.
Because there have been solutions. I went and visited Catholic Charities one day.
Great
and
place.
The lady that the president CEO, I'm not really sure her job title, told us that in the early 2000s they got rid of veteran homelessness. It went down to 0% in Acadiana. Wow. What they did is they did a partnership with the VA and Catholic Charities, and they were able to get it down to 0 because there were so many Vietnam veterans that were homeless that had a bunch of money just sitting for them. They were just missing an ID somewhere. They were missing a birth certificate.
You get
these partnerships, but the only thing is that when we do this, we have to have oversight. We can't keep throwing money towards NGOs. We all know about the Laring Center.
Gosh.
Who that was?
That's in Minnesota.
Yep. Actually, Nick Shirley came speak to us at Turning Point. That was interesting. He told us about that.
Nick Shirley came talk to you?
I asked about New Orleans fraud, and he said that we sent him some stuff. He'll go investigate. So we start with New Orleans listeners. Y'all need to go look for some stuff. Send it over, and we'll send it to him, and he'll go investigate for you.
I got you. Look, we're running out of time here. We're going to take us a tiny little break. When we get back. Let's continue on this. We got some other things we can talk about locally. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting from the Rumble Studios. Hey, how about that, huh? Go check us out, rumble.com, the Josh Guillory Show. We're also in the Cape Bell Studios. Guys, phones are not open today, but we still love you anyway on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. It's beautiful. So, man, let me tell you guys, looking to bring more fun into your home. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Indoor recreation. Head over there. They're on Rue Louis the 14th in Lafayette, right off of Collie Saloon. Indoor recreation has everything from pool tables and arcade games. I'm talking about like the old school arcade games. It's really neat. They got shuffleboard, foosball, air hockey, darts. They got pub furniture. You can really like MTV crib this thing. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. But already have a pool table? Great. Indoor recreation also offers expert moving, recovering, leveling, delivery, and installation. With more than 35 years serving South Louisiana, trust Indoor Recreation. Man, call them 984-1625. You want to know where your kids are? Build a game room and build it from Indoor Recreation. All right, Lane, let's keep talking about the local Lafayette Consolidated Government. Let's see here. Yeah. Budget is coming out. The Mayor President's budget is about to be introduced. We'll see that. I'm sure the council will have a lot to say about it. Ultimately, they're the ones that approve it, so they can amend it. They can do a whole bunch of stuff. You got like general amendments, special amendments. You got all these budget hearings. You can tune in on AOC, who just got a wonderful executive director that you guys probably know very well. So you can participate. You can tape it and watch it later if you'd like. All the things, because that's what you want to do after you work all day, right? You want to go home and watch a recorded budget hearing brief from Lafayette Consolidated Government. I sat through a lot of them. I'll give you the skinny. How's that? But hey, look, I don't want to downplay it. Lots of things happen in the next couple months. It's a very important time in local government here, at least in the city and parish of Lafayette. A lot of money. I'm curious to see what the forecasted revenue will be. Will it be 803? I heard 809 from the auditor. I hope he's wrong, because that is a stagnant economy. If we went from 803 to 809 with a budget, doggone tax increase and everything, like that is a stagnant economy. So I'm hoping he's wrong on that. Let's see. But anywho, very political, by the way. What you got, bud?
So if Lafayette is growing in size, the taxes will go up. So why would we increase taxes? That's something that when I went to Boise State 3 weeks ago, what we did is they told us we have a 10% increase of this fake city. So we said we got a huge amount. We had a bunch of people move in, and we made a bunch of money. And that's how we justified our budget increase. So we didn't have to touch taxes. I came in, I was the mayor of my city. I said, we're not touching taxes at all.
Yeah.
We're not increasing them at
I
all.
like this group. I like this exercise you did.
We said that the citizens pay enough money.
Yeah.
We're going to fix the problems with the money they already sent us.
That's right.
They already sent us too much. They're already tired of paying taxes. Let's keep it where it is, and we'll just use the money used by the people moving in.
Lane, guess what? That works in real life as well. Now, you asked a very important question. Why would you increase taxes in Lafayette, Louisiana? Well, I don't understand it either. But one thing I do understand is none of us should be shocked when the mayor president is a lifelong Democrat blanco who turned Republican right before the election. Is anybody shocked that she raised our taxes? Anybody? I'm not. And I'm not shocked it got zero coverage. You know, those same tax increases were given to me 3 times. You know how many times I vetoed them?
Oh.
3.
Yeah.
3 for 3. And still a council talked to me. That was wonderful. I appreciated them.
The council, aren't they mostly Republican too? You would think they wouldn't be voting for this.
Well, it's unique. Back to that 5-person minimum. And this is something that we got bamboozled, okay? Our charter should be amended. It should give the councils more members on the council. And that's not growing government, that's growing representation. Adjust the budgets. I don't know. Cut spending. Student teacher ratio. Yeah. Is it easier for a teacher to teach 50 kids or 20 kids? Well, of course, 20 kids. Well, is it easier for a parish council member to represent 50,000 people or 10,000, 20,000? It makes a little bit more sense. In a city, We're the fourth largest city incorporated in the state of Louisiana. Why do we have the statutory minimum of council members? It's 5 to 15. Why did we choose 5? And the sad thing is, someone told me really that the reason why we went 5 and 5 is because we had 9 council members and we could fit physically another seat, and that's why we need to go to 10. If that's the reason, which I'm questioning because it very well may have been. Actually, that was probably the justification. Because in this, we have basically 2 built-in Democrat seats on the city council. So that's 2 out of 5. And you have 1 built-in Democrat seat on the parish. That's 1 out of 5. So 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5. That's 3 out of 10. Okay? So, but that's 40% of your city. I don't know if 40% vote Democrat if they get out and vote. But we'll see. That's a very interesting topic. Now, I'll tell you the 2 guys, I know Elroy and I know Kenneth, and of course I know AB. I mean, there's no reason why. I mean, I know those guys would support good infrastructure projects, like Homewood, for example. You got $100 million more than the last guy. Why wouldn't you finish Homewood? Why wouldn't you finish Brown Park? And why would you invest in this university project in the way that you're doing? Like I said, man, there is a reason why Joel didn't go forward. There's a reason why I didn't go forward. I like the idea of improving our interchanges. I did approve that, the intersections, but to support 4 lanes. And my idea, in good faith, because I don't want to tell anybody that if they have a good idea they're passionate about, I try not to say straight up no, unless you need like taxes, no. But so I would say just, hey, there's another year you can convince me. And they come back with the road diet plan and all the cute little thingies. And it just didn't make enough sense. The interchanges did. I'm all about that. Make make them safer, make them improved. You can even improve the utilities around there. Maybe do some drainage work if that calls for it. I'm all about that. Hey, but you know what else I noticed, Lane? I know we're becoming the panhandling capital of the world, Lafayette, Louisiana. But I've noticed an abundance of cones laying everywhere.
Yep.
And it can't just be me, because I'm telling you guys, I get around this parish. I do. I love this parish. I love all the municipalities. I love the city of Lafayette. I don't see that anywhere but here, in the city part of Lafayette. And it's just cones. And they're just sitting. And I really am convinced, because the administration is doing nothing. It is a ghost town in public works. It is a ghost town with projects being done, even though you have all this money. But I'm convinced that group that's in charge really thinks that we're stupid enough that if they put cones out, that they can then say progress. And boy, I wish I wasn't at a hard end, because I could keep going on with that. Maybe we'll start the next hour with it. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Hour number 2 right around the corner. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, hour number 2. We're so happy that you joined us. I remain your very grateful host, and in studio with me still, my friend Lane. What's up, Lane?
Hi, everybody.
Lane, you rocking over there, man. Tell me all these stories from Turning Point USA and how you and your friends are doing some pretty cool stuff. I think that's very neat.
Yeah.
I think that's very neat. Now, you were in Washington?
Yes, I was in Washington for 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah. People
Awesome.
aren't, it's a nice place. People aren't as nice, but it's what you have to deal with.
You know, I've traveled, there's some places, though, that still have manners.
I went from this swamp
and
to
good
that.
food.
I went from this swamp to that swamp. This
Oh,
swamp
yeah,
to
well,
that
that's
place.
it. You didn't change your swamp gear.
Yeah.
You know, didn't change. That's okay, though. All right, guys, so we were talking some local stuff. I got the budget coming out. We're going to see where the priorities are. Lane, I've developed, it seems like he's developed the same understanding of the panhandlers. Man, listen, if someone's in need, absolutely give it to trusted folks like the church, non-profits that you can trust, faith-based organizations, places that actually want to go care and help. Government will throw money. Government may throw a program or two, but government can't fix it. They can't. Now, I'm not saying government doesn't have you mentioned public-private partnerships in the break. I'll talk about that. So this is one where maybe you could, public-private partnership. You mentioned Catholic Charities. You know, when I got in office, I didn't really understand, even though I'm Catholic, I didn't understand what Catholic Charities did. Now, I also inherited a pretty interesting city budget that was not going in the right direction. So we had to make a lot of cuts, okay? And that because there were some games being played right at the end of the previous year. But regardless, but man, that's Catholic Charities, for example, they get out there and they have a mission. I've seen their warehouse, I've seen their two of their locations, and Kim is who you were referring to. Kim, yeah. Super, super nice, passionate. Man, first time I met with her, she probably thought, walked out of there thinking, this dude don't care about this mission at all. And maybe she was right, because I had other things to worry about at the time, like flooding, like COVID and BLM protests. But to Kim's credit, and the bishop and everybody else, I not only learned a lot about Catholic Charities and all the good that they do in our community, but I also learned about other groups that are way more better suited to help the homeless, to help the poor, to help more of the social initiatives. There's a place for government, but it ain't in the lead. It has to be a supportive role. What government can do is lead on what government's supposed to do. Infrastructure, keep people safe, increase quality of life, that kind of stuff. Have our economy rolling. That's it. If it's other than that, it's not the role of government. But that doesn't mean government shouldn't be present. It can be present. So public-private partnership. But here's the thing, guys. Triple P, or PPP, not the other stuff, not the COVID PPP. That's PPE, by the way. But there was a PPP in COVID, too, through the Small Business Administration. Anyway, so... But going on this public-private partnership, I will say this. Not every public-private partnership's the same. But we had some things, and this is the thing, this is what really frustrates me about Lafayette right now in our current situation. We were on track to get two things through a public-private partnership that would have really, really transformed Lafayette. And they both died with this current administration. And the only people that suffered were the people of Lafayette. One was moving the jail. We had a plan in place that didn't include tax increases. You get in, the current mayor president, because my name's on it, basically sunk it. And it's easy to sink because it did involve state capital outlay, and that would have required everybody to be on the same board, on the same page, and the only person that was different to the team was her. And, so... I keep telling the people just to remove my name from everything, and she would have signed it into law. Doggone. Anyway, but by the way, there was a lot of people way smarter than me that figured that out. I mean, we sent some folks to really learn this stuff, and we're able. Credit to the sheriff, credit to my CAO at the time, legal, whole bunch of folks that were, again, way smarter than me. I just have figured out without increasing taxes and make sure it's lawful and ethical and be bold. and that we were. So the new jail, man, you moving that jail out of town, that's a 5-acre spot right in the heart of downtown Lafayette. The parish owns it. That's a way to get revenue for the parish that I'm told is broke. It's not broke. It's funded differently. But there you go. You don't think we can increase the quality of life downtown? Where are all our downtown places, our peeps? You know, downtown should be thriving. It should be clean, too. It should be clean.
And fix the sidewalks.
Man, I don't even understand it. I don't even understand.
It makes
we
sense.
did the hard stuff, man. This should be like the easy stuff, you know? But no, look, public-private partnership, they're not all the same. There's a lot of abuse, so you got to really look at it. Another public-private partnership that I'd like to see come back is with our hotel owners, and we had plans to bring in an indoor facility, an indoor sports facility. The size of the floor was, I forgot how many times bigger than the Cajun Dome. It would support the Cajun Dome. It wouldn't take away from the Cajun Dome. But you could have regional tournaments, tourism coming in. We had the location. We started with the design. We did a spatial study. Everything was ready. And then election happened. And that's okay. That's okay. Elections happen and different initiatives. But you mentioned public-private partnership. And these are ways, and by the way, that would have been no tax increase to the citizens. I mean, these are things that we're capable of as in Lafayette. But we're missing the boat. We're not doing them. We're growing government. We're raising taxes and not even doing anything with it. We're going backwards. And that's what scares me, man. I love this place. I love the people here. I love the city of Lafayette. I love the parish of Lafayette. I love our neighbors. I don't want us to become New Orleans. Because let me tell you something. When I was in New Orleans on Sunday, I really saw some resemblances of Lafayette in certain areas. And I know that maybe that's just where I was at. But dude, it's like we're on the Blanco model, okay? And I'm not trying to be ugly or mean or anything. It's just a different way. One way gets stuff done, okay? It doesn't care about just build things, help people, keep us safe. Don't raise taxes. Spend the money wisely. Shrink government if you can so that you can afford things. What about beautification? You were going to ask that. I'm taking your question.
We need to make our city as beautiful as possible. We have to make it look pretty. We have to do it for our citizens. They pay the taxes. You drive into these cities and you see all these ugly things. There has been beautification projects, and I really, really appreciate that. There were flowers that were added onto Louisiana Avenue. I thought that was
but go pull the weeds, man. I just drove by Louisiana Avenue.
I agree.
If you build it, maintain it.
They have to maintain it. They put a sign right in front of it. It was who was paid by, and I really considered parking in the parking lot and crossing the road. But I was like, that's a little too much of a risk to do that.
Man,
that should be the government who should have fixed it in the first place.
So beautification. First, beautification is not the sexy part. It's the part that you don't see. Drainage, roads, and clean up the roads, sidewalks, all that stuff, okay? That's the stuff you just need, the bones, even in utilities. But, actually not. You know what? Go look at the budgets. That's all I'm going to say, because we started this conversation with budgets, and you have a good comparative analysis. There's a reason why the grass isn't being cut right now in Lafayette.
And that makes no sense.
They don't know what they're doing. They canceled a wonderful program that was cutting. Did y'all ever have a problem when we were in office cutting grass? No. We had a great CAO that would make that happen. Now all I did was give the green light. Be bold. Be bold. You got an entire legal department if you have questions. You got an entire subject matter expert to go ask questions. Let's get it done and let's help people. But it's not a priority, Lane. When you get your financial house in order, when you have your budget in order, you would be amazed at what you can afford. And if you build a one-time capital project, which I was big on, and I think we need a lot more of them, by the way, to help us out, you build it with a maintenance plan. Don't build it if you can't maintain it. That's why, and we hear this, those who can't handle the small things, you can't expect to be handled the big things. If you can't keep Louisiana Avenue's weeds pulled, that was your choice. You chose to put a flower garden, okay? If you put a flower garden, you got to maintain it or it's going to look worse than what you had before. Everybody knows that. Just like those crepe myrtles. If you don't go and prune them, then they're going to look like not good. Okay? So, anywho, if you can't be trusted with the little things, how can you be trusted with the big things? And I think it's showing. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting from rumble.com. Go check us out. Also from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. We certainly appreciate you guys. Hey, man, looking for luxury, safety, and a dealership that puts customers first? Well, visit Giles Volvo Cars here in Lafayette. Giles Volvo. Whether you're shopping for a new Volvo, a quality pre-owned vehicle, or expert service from factory-trained technicians, the Giles team is ready to help. Stop by their showroom on South City Parkway or see their inventory online. Experience the Volvo difference at Giles Volvo, man, where exceptional vehicles meet exceptional service. GilesVolvoCars.com. Go check them out. You see my buddy Giles, Bob Giles, you tell him I said hello. All righty, let's keep on keeping on, shall we, Lane? Do we have anything else local you want to talk about?
There's definitely more to talk about, but
we were supposed to talk about this like a segment. Yeah. I was just going to say, all I was going to say was the budget's coming out and we should look at it.
It's these little things that I think could make our city better that I don't think are thought out all the way. And it leads to the citizens of Lafayette that pay everything to not.
No, that's a good way of putting it. Not expecting the fruition, we should expect it because we're paying enough taxes.
We're paying a bunch of taxes, and we're expecting things to turn out well. And we elect our officials to do well in these jobs that we're. How much does the mayor president make?
170.
170? That's more than the governor made.
Yeah, it was 120.
I didn't know it was that much. When they increased
that? My last budget, I increased it for the next person.
Okay. So you didn't touch yours, which is good.
When I would get a 2% rate, because I do believe you should keep up, and I do believe it should be competitive. I think it's probably a little bit more with the 2%, but you want it to be competitive to attract good candidates. You do want that.
Yeah, it's better than how much we pay our superintendent, but that's the topic.
That's a whole different ballgame. And look, whatever, man, whatever. I'm sure they have the same argument, but the 2% raises, I would donate that, to causes.
Well, that's great.
That way.
Help our local community.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much, trust me,
Yeah.
but it was something.
It was something.
It was something. But I just didn't feel like I just didn't want to accept it while I was in office.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I didn't want to, but I also didn't want to not allow the line item on the budget to receive because the next person after me, I wanted it to be competitive. I'm telling you, look, if you go in there, I'm serious. If you go in there and your mindset is, I'm going to do the right thing, I'm going to help as many people as I possibly can, and I don't care if I'm reelected. I may run for reelection, but it's not the end of the day if I get like beat or something. If you do that, no matter what you're running for, governor, president, senate, city council member, school board member, mayor, president, whatever it is, county, whatever, if you're outside of our state, like if you go in there and you got a parachute plan, your plan is not government, okay? Like you go in there with that kind of attitude, humble, all that stuff, I'm telling you, get a lot of things done. There were times where I wasn't humble and God reminded me who God was. And I appreciate that.
No, we had discussed the amount of
didn't like it at the time.
We had discussed the council members. How much do council members get paid?
Council members is not a bad gig. It's like 30-something thousand.
That's pretty good.
I used to joke all the time. I'm like, y'all make $30,000 a year for working 2 hours a month, but they would remind me of all the phone calls they did.
Yeah. And looking at it, we actually.
And I was joking. They work a lot.
We have the smallest city council compared to cities that are around our size or bigger.
Yeah.
The top 5, top 6 cities in Louisiana have 7 or 12 member councils.
Look at this. New Orleans, 12. Baton Rouge, 12 members on their city council. Shreveport, 173,000 residents, 7. Metairie, 139,000. That's more comparative to Lafayette. That's an old number, the 123.
Yes.
But Metairie, 7 members on the Jefferson Parish Council. The Jefferson Parish Council. We got 5. And I'm telling y'all that was for a reason.
Yeah, look, even like at Kenner has 7, and it only has around 65,000.
There are municipalities in our parish that have more than 5 on their city council. And that was all for a reason.
Yeah.
That was all for a reason. But we're here now. Like we're here now, and I don't see the charter could be amended for that. I could see the folks maybe having an appetite for that. There's always, if we really want to start, we'll have to do this when the phone lines are open. We could talk about consolidation versus deconsolidation. I did a total 180 on that, man. When I ran, I was all about deconsolidation. And then I saw the budget, like we're about to go through right now. And look, I ain't good at everything. I'm probably not good at more things than I am good at. But that budget, I was good at. And I had a great team that taught me a lot of stuff. I had a wonderful CAO, Sidra Wingardner, a wonderful CFO in Lori Toops, who honestly they ran her out, and that is she was ethical, smart. Then I had Lowell Duyan came in, great guy. But look, these folks they get it. So anyway, how are we doing on time, Lane? We got to take a little break.
We're doing pretty good. We can do like 2 more minutes.
Good.
Now whenever you can continue.
No, what were you?
No, you can continue. I have a question a little bit. Let me think.
So, I'm just saying on let's go back to that council meeting, the council outline, okay, or excuse me, members. You got a statutory minimum. The lowest you can have is 5. The more, I believe, is 15.
Yeah.
Now, New Orleans having 12, okay, that makes sense in the way they do it. I think we should do it something, believe it or not. They got 7 districts and 5 at large. I do believe we should have maybe 2, okay? What if we did this? Keep your same 5 city districts, take the city and divide it in half, and you got 1 half at large and 1 half at large. Or run 2. I think this might be a good one. Run 2 citywide at large council members. And I'm going to tell you, as the executive, when I was in, I would have appreciated having council members in the legislative branch that looked at the big picture like I was looking at the big picture. Now, I'm going to give credit to these council members when I was in, city and parish. Both of them typically were good team players. They weren't so territorial over their districts as maybe you would think. But again, man, we had a really good relationship. It was very easy. Hand me products that help people, and hand me projects that help people, and I'll try my best to get it done. It's very easy.
Now, do you think that if the government was to deconsolidate, do you think Lafayette City would be a Democrat city?
Yeah, Lafayette will turn into New Orleans.
Yeah.
So I'm just being honest. Listen, you can say what you want, but the only reason why, Now that's not well, maybe it is a reason to keep it consolidated if you care about that.
Yeah.
But that is like, if that happens, you will absolutely turn left. It will start with the Rhino push, because they're going to need to be in the club to be able to run for state office. They have to have the R behind their name, but they'll run it like a Democrat, like they're doing right now. Growing government, raising taxes, wasting spending, having nothing to show for it. And our yard looks like crap. Our front yard looks, not as good as it should. And really saddens me. But anyway, Lane, I keep trying to talk about something else. You keep talking about this local stuff.
I know, it's just so interesting, and I think it affects our listeners a lot.
Well, it does.
So,
it does. A lot of folks may be driving right now listening. Yeah. We appreciate you, by the way. All right, guys, stick around. We're going to take us a tiny little commercial break. We'll be right back. You good? Okay. Have you been going to wide angle and regular? Okay, good. And split in yours as well, okay? Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We usually have our phone lines open at this time, but we don't have them up today on this beautiful Tuesday here. Hey guys, when you or someone you love needs quality care at home, I want you to trust Audubon Home Health. Audubon Home Health provides compassionate professional home health services designed to help patients recover, regain independence, which is so important, and stay where they're most comfortable, at home. Audubon Home Health. Their experienced team is committed to personalized care with dignity and respect every step of the way. Choose Audubon Home Health because there's no place like home to heal. Audubon Home Health here in Lafayette, Louisiana. All right, we got so much to talk about, Lane. Lane, are we good to move on from local?
I think so.
Jeez. I mean, I love it, and I love the place, but there's only some. I'm starting to get frustrated if I talk about it too much.
Your blood pressure might rise a little too much.
Yeah, just because the fixes are so easy. Anybody listening would probably go in there and fix it like that. But anywho, guys, all about priorities. Let's go to the United States Senate. Of course, as yesterday we discussed, Senator Lindsey Graham died suddenly late Saturday night into Sunday morning. I think it was late Saturday night, July 11th. And it's, his presence was felt in the room, wherever he was. Now, whatever you take from that, okay? I mean, we can say what we want, and there's been a lot of pundits that have said that, but I'll focus on going forward. All right, you may have seen yesterday, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but Lane, we didn't really go into too much detail, so I'd like to talk about it a little bit more. So former, well, actually, this right here with Senator Graham. So Lindsey Graham, this is his sister, okay? She was named the interim U.S. Senator. That was yesterday. Governor Henry McMaster. Darlene Graham Nordone is who he appointed. That's, again, the younger sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, to temporarily fill his U.S. Senate seat for the remainder of the current term. That's very important. And that's right around the corner. Now, they're going to – he had won the primary, right?
Yes, he won the primary. He was going to the general, and then now they're trying to figure out who's going to replace him in the election.
Yeah. So this will be interesting. Now, Democrats, this is a little different. This is a person that died. He's no longer here. We're not replacing someone that won the nomination. I want to make sure I'm saying it. This is not like Kamala Harris, where Joe Biden got all the votes, and they're like, nope, psych, and they put her in. Or like this other Graham Plattner, they'll just touch somebody they'll appoint. This is different, okay? Meaning we're going to have an election, I hope. I hope they don't appoint. I don't know, though. What's the party rules? I mean, they already had a primary.
So their plan is that they're going to have a
And right, Lane, real quick, here's why I asked that. Because this wasn't the general election for the primary that we're waiting for. The primary already happened. So you already have a Democrat on the ballot. You probably got independents and all these other folks on the ballot. So does the state of South Carolina delay so that the Republicans can have an election? We delayed our House seat election in Louisiana. That has to be what they're going to do. I know Lane's like searching like a wild man over there. You should see all this stuff. But that's I'm very curious to see how they do that. And then also, where does Miss Darlene fall in? Does she run? Is she appointed? Then there's no way they appoint a nominee.
No, the plan is, as of now, that she's just going to fill in the seat, and then they're going to have an election, because they didn't want the governor to to pick someone they were just going to be there forever. They wanted like an actual candidate to go through an election process. Yeah. Because Republicans believe in elections.
Yeah, we like
Democrats that. Not so much. So the plan right now is that they're going to have a special candidate filing period, which will open July 21st for Republicans interested in running for Graham's seat, and it will remain open for a week, according to state law in the state Republican Party. Primary would be held on August 11th, with the runoff if no candidate reaches 50% of the vote on August 25th. So we're going to have an election like Republicans do.
Hey, look at this, though. That August 11th would be the primary if no one gets the 50% plus one. August 25th, that's only 2 weeks.
Yes.
So that's like getting. Now, is Darlene a candidate? We don't know yet?
We don't know yet, but the most likely she will not. She was kind of, I think a lot of experts have kind of really explained that they think she was just put in there to fill the seat because it was Graham's seat. They wanted a family member who was going to vote close to him. Yeah. And he always described her as the closest person he had in his life. Right. So they think that she'll really vote like he will and vote how South Carolina wants right now. And then they'll go ahead in the election and they'll vote to see who's the next senator.
That is so interesting. Now, again, just tell you a little bit about her, though. She's not, obviously she's not a long-time elected official. She's largely stayed out of politics, as I appreciate it, especially the political spotlight throughout her brother's career. They were close, clearly. After, and you had mentioned this, I think, yesterday, after both Lindsey Graham and Darlene, his younger teenage sister at the time, after their parents passed away, Lindsey was a very young man, and he became her legal guardian while serving in the United States Air Force. And the two remained very close throughout their lives. Now, professionally, though, his sister Darlene, has worked as an optician and has also served in South Carolina state government. I didn't know that. She which included a lot of work. She's big into disability employment services. She served on, or supported largely, has supported the South Carolina Commission for the Blind. And if you're here in Lafayette, Louisiana, know that's something that might, well, we have a large deaf population, but I see the site population as well being treated blind here in Lafayette. A lot of resources here for blind and deaf individuals. So, oh, by the way, her appointment makes history. She becomes the first woman ever to represent South Carolina in the United States Senate, and she's a Republican.
I'm surprised the Democrats aren't celebrating it. Oh, wait. She has an R next to her name.
Yeah.
Exactly
where's all the women live?
Yeah.
Where's all the love? Where's all the pink hat ladies that protest and all that stuff? This is a woman. Doggone it.
And what's even crazier is just last year there was a candidate in Virginia, black Republican woman.
I do remember that.
I'm trying to blank on her name, but great candidate. She lost to crazy Abigail Spanberger. I spoke to someone who lives in Virginia this past week, and he said everyone hates her there. The liberals even hate her because she's not liberal enough.
Oh my gosh.
And the things that they're passing in Virginia are crazy liberal. And the liberals are still upset that she's not as liberal as they want to be. Liberal. That's all they want.
AOC type.
Yes. She's crazy.
So we don't expect Darlene nor Dawn to roll up in there and be like blocking stuff. We think, well, I don't know. Maybe.
She might.
I doubt it. Come on, Lane. She's gonna go in there and play nice.
I would doubt she would. There was a similar case in California, where Senator, what was that lady's name? Give me a few minutes and we'll have.
Well, there's only 100. But the first woman to represent South Carolina in the United States Senate, I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, I guess we're still keeping track of that. That's good, I guess. It's history.
Here we go. Dianne Feinstein.
Oh, gosh.
She was there. She died going into the 2024 election. They replaced her with a woman named LaFonza Butler, who's a crazy abortion lady. She got endorsed. She's actually the president of a pro-abortion, pro-woman, pro-minority lobbying group. She got placed in. She decided not to run, which I think was what Newsom expected for them. Shifty Schiff to come in and replace her.
Man. Adam Schiff. That's an interesting character right there. I don't really know what he stands for either. I mean, I know obstruction is one thing, but
he's just doing everything he can to destroy Trump in every way. And guess what? It didn't work. We got Trump 2 terms in, and I hope he keeps the Senate this term. Adam Schiff can stay away from power.
Man. Well, I mean, we have the Senate. Does it matter? Yeah. I mean,
nothing gets passed.
Unless we get a different leader. And I'm telling y'all, I am not big on changing leadership in the middle of a term like that. It shouldn't be taken lightly. But I'm also all about making changes when we need to make changes. You got the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, with a slim majority, getting things done, sending the legislation to the Senate where they have a larger majority. And we want to play these little games that the Democrats will not play when they have the Senate and the House and the President, because it will happen. It will happen. And that's going to be a very scary day. So put the codification in place. Codify some of these executive orders that the president's doing.
I think that just shows that us here in Louisiana, we get things done. Why don't we just put John Kennedy as our Senate Majority Leader? He would be on TV all the time. We would all be laughing. We'd be having a good time.
One of the smartest dudes you know, man.
And then
I think he's Rhodes Scholar.
He's very, very smart. He is a Rhodes Scholar. He went to Vanderbilt University.
Crazy.
Went to Oxford. He lived in 5 different states, and he went on Theo Vaughn and said Louisiana is the best state, nicest people you ever meet. He knows how great Louisiana is, and I think he should be our next majority leader.
Come on, Tim, send him a Prejean shirt so he can do those interviews with Prejean.
Oh, that would be awesome. Prejean's Dino's.
Yeah, represent. Exactly. Represent, baby. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We'll wrap this up with a big old smile, Lane.
Yep.
Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting from rumble.com. Man, let me tell you about my friends over there at St. Marie Orthodontics. I love Stacy St. Marie. I love his staff. He's got a new dentist in the house. Go check her out, too. Very, very bright, very brilliant. Man, look, a confident smile, though, can last a lifetime. We want to get those confident smiles, and that's exactly what you'll find at St. Marie Orthodontics here in Lafayette and Opelousas. Whether it's braces, clear aligners, which is really, really cool. The technology there is amazing. You can get personalized orthodontic care. You can do it for kids, for teens, for adults, even folks that already had braces and maybe we didn't wear our retainer as much as we should. I get it. Go check him out. He'll hook you up. He'll help you out over there at St. Marie Orthodontics. They combine advanced treatment with very friendly and compassionate service. If you've been thinking about improving your smile, schedule a consultation today. St. Marie Orthodontics, creating healthy, beautiful smiles you'll be proud to share. Go visit them. St. Marie Orthodontics, Lafayette and Opelousas. All right, gang, let's keep on keeping on. Let's go to Mitch McConnell. Well, as LL Cool J said, don't call it a comeback. Well, maybe so. I don't know. So where has Mitch McConnell been? Well, he has broken his silence about his recent hospitalization. The 84-year-old senator revealed that he was briefly unconscious after suffering a fall, which led to his hospitalization several weeks ago. He said doctors have since run a series of tests to determine what caused the incident. During his hospital stay, he was also treated for mild pneumonia. McConnell says he has now been transferred to a rehabilitation facility and, in his words, can't return to the Senate quite yet. Okay. So the timing does become significant. His absence, again, comes just days after the unexpected death of Lindsey Graham, as we discussed, temporarily reducing the majority lead, which was already small, to 51. 51 Republicans, 47 Democrats. Now, as lawmakers continue working on things like military funding, Trump's legislative agenda, you got confirming nominees if that comes up. Now that's going to be less. It's now, I should have corrected that, 52 to 47, because now Graham is replaced with his sister. So 50, but still. But for now, McConnell says his focus is on recovery before returning to Washington. He says, I can't put your oxygen mask on until I do mine first. Okay, got it. I got it. But, I mean, I get, and listen, I don't mean this to sound bad either. Shouldn't he retire? I mean, at such a pivotal point right now, I'm assuming we have a Republican governor in Kentucky.
No, we actually don't.
Oh, stay
That's
in, Mitch.
the problem.
Stay in, Mitch. Never mind. Really?
Yep.
Kentucky?
Kentucky has Andy Beshear, who Democrats think is going to be the next president. He has no charisma at all. He only is in office because of his dad. His dad was governor back in the day. Nepotism, he got in. He had the Beshear next to his name. It's a big name. The Kentucky beat a Republican incumbent who the teachers' unions were mad at because he did something with the teachers. And he wasn't a very popular governor.
He made them mad.
Bevin, yeah, he made the teachers really mad. So it's a hot mess over there. He came in 2018, won again in 2019 he won. Came back 2023, beat Daniel Cameron, who was the attorney general. So he's in office until we vote again for Jeff Landry, so 2027.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so never mind, Mitch. Hang strong. Hang strong, Mitch.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Because once the election passes, we have Andy Barr, who's an amazing conservative, who's going to do great for the state of Kentucky.
Kentucky has a Democrat, but I mean, we had a Democrat governor for 8 years.
Yep.
We had Edwin Evers before that. That was maybe different times, but we had John Bell for 8 years. So
we
McConnell,
had Kathleen Blanco not long ago either.
Well, we have Kathleen Blanco in Lafayette, and it shows. Now, let's go to some of the things. McConnell, it started to make me thinking, Lane, and my dear friends. Like, let's talk about some of the things that maybe we think of with Mitch McConnell. And now that I'm not going to be able to list all of them. I know we're running out of time. Yeah. But look at the Ukraine funding. Mm-hmm. That's recent. McConnell basically became the Senate's leading Republican. You remember during the appropriations? I mean, advocating for sending tens of billions of dollars, and actually more than that, in military and financial aid to Ukraine and did not address our budget, our deficit, okay? Many conservatives opposed that as domestic priorities, okay? Especially like when you have border security at the time that was unmet. You can think back to January 6th and his opposition to President Trump after that. I mean, McConnell publicly blamed President Trump for January 6th. He opposed him at various points after politically for the 4 years and even while in office since he's been back. He's been viewed by many conservatives as trying to move the Republican Party away from Trump and away from the American First movement. Now, with any movement, it'll grow legs and go somewhere that maybe we don't intend it to go in the future. But the mindset of American First policies, how is that even a debate? That should be number one. So, yeah, when you fight a president just because his name is Trump, when you fight any politician, whether they're in office or not, just because it's them and you're taken away from what you should be doing to help people, that just ain't cool.
Whenever you're in the United States Senate and you're more concerned about other countries' borders instead of our border, there seems to be a huge problem.
And you're right. And on the southern border, man, conservatives and Republicans and Democrats have criticized him for prioritizing, as you said, foreign policy, bipartisan negotiations, while illegal immigration and border security basically just, again, I'm going to be nice, remained unsolved.
Yep.
It was solved. They just didn't do it. You know how we know? Because like this, night and day, Trump gets in and look at it. Record deportations, voluntary deportations, which is the way to go. Securing our border. How many people are getting in now? I'm just saying. You know, a lot of folks viewed McConnell as the face of Republican establishment and all that stuff. But on the positive, I like to be positive, I think we conservatives should overwhelmingly give him credit for reshaping the federal judiciary. I will give him credit 100%. For that. Like he pushed through, like Lane, he pushed through the nominations. Yes. And that's something and that's going to help. That's going to help direct the jurisprudence of our country in a way that hopefully is more like our founders thought and envisioned, and maybe stop expanding the Constitution. All right, guys, doggone, I wish I had more time. We so appreciate you joining us. Be careful out there. May God bless you. Be kind.